My boy James Ellsworth turned heel, the bad guy, now with AJ Styles. Is it true? Is it true? Yes, it is. AJ Styles proves again and again and again that he should have been in the WWE a long time ago. What seemed to be a lackluster show, not really lackluster, but I just feel like there's too many gimmicks. There's chairs, there's ladders, there's tables, and then we get a TLC match at the end of the night. I feel like the gimmicks are overload, bro. There's too many gimmicks, bro. Too many. But I think that we had shown that once again, AJ Styles carries the show. He is the champ that runs the camp, the face that runs the place, and he should have been in WWE a long time ago. You can tell by how hard he worked. A 450 through a table on a Dean Ambrose. When you thought that AJ Styles was done, outruns James Ellsworth, pushes Dean Ambrose off into the tables, Dudley Boy style, if you remember that, back in the TLC matches. And then we have AJ Styles retaining. Why, Ellsworth, why? After AJ Styles did all that to you, and Dean Ambrose helped you get a contract in the WWE, and you turn on him. Now, I get it. They want to do something different. They want to make it exciting. They want to change it up. I get that. But it's just like, to me, I don't buy it. Maybe when I hear what Ellsworth has, like, there's been a lot of heel turns that have sucked forever in wrestling. Like, that's just a thing. Like, when a guy turns bad, it always sucks. With Ellsworth, though, it just, like, it literally does not make any sense. Like, I guess they can come up with some convoluted thing and then just say, too sweet me, brother, and that's all that you need, really. But it just does not make any sense for the guy who got him a contract. AJ was beating him up. He Styles clashed him off the stage. Like, unless it's just like, yo, brother, he paid me lots of money, dude, Jack Daddy, brother. Like, that's the only thing I could think of, is that he just paid him a lot of money. Like, that's the only thing. Like, because Ellsworth looks like a poor guy who, like, I don't know, everything that describes not a superstar in WWE, you know what I mean? So he would just want a lot of money, want a friendship of AJ Styles. You know, if you want to be friends with a champ, of course. But, like, again, it's just kind of like a, yeah, I called it happening, but I didn't want to believe that it would happen. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think that it was going to be like a thing. It was actually going to go down. Like, yeah, Ellsworth is going to turn. I did not believe that. But that is the main event. Now AJ's still champ. And again, like I said, AJ Styles proving again that he is the best in the WWE. He really is. Everything that he does is awesome. Every match that he has is awesome. Everything is awesome with AJ Styles. So we can also talk about AJ Styles' butt. He had a bloody butt. His pants split. I think when he did that thing where Dean Ambrose did the suplex and flipped him for like a powerbomb kind of thing in the chairs, I think his butt ripped, and then he was bloody off of that. So that was crazy. AJ Styles' butt is a trending topic probably on Twitter. I was trying to stay off Twitter and stuff and just enjoy the match and watch it for what it was. So also tonight we have a lot of, I don't want to say bad, it's just too much, you know what I mean? I feel like there's too much of a good thing is too much, because if you do it way too many times, then you're gonna have too much. It's like, you have a tables match, you have a chairs match, you have a ladder match, then you have a TLC. Like, it's just too much. And they said this was the 19th TLC match in the WWE. This should be like the 5th or 6th TLC match in the entire WWE. The problem is that, like, when you have these big matches, they get overplayed and then you get numb to it. So when you see some stuff, you're just like, all right. And you could tell by the crowd watching, the live crowd just did not care. They were like, there was a lot of cool stuff happening, and the crowd was just like, yeah, I've seen it before. They're like desensitized to it. It's like you see like a car crash over. The first time you see a car crash, you're like, oh, that is insane. I can't believe that happened. But then like you see a car crash over and over and over and over and over and over, and then it just like doesn't hit anymore. Like it's the craziest thing. Like you see it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And you just don't care anymore. Like a chair shot, nobody cares anymore. Going through a table, nobody cares anymore. I mean, there was like, I feel like there was like a lot of setup too in these matches that made the crowd not care. Was like we have to set up these chair spots. We have to put all these 6 chairs in a row. Then we have to set up this table, and then we have to pull the ladder. And there was a lot of selling, and they gave the matches a lot more time, which was cool because they need to give them more time just because they are their own brand and they can build the characters, and it's what people want. They want, in this day and age, they want longer matches. They want better wrestling, and we're getting it. But again, like I said, it's coming back to that car crash mentality where you're like, I've seen it so many times, I don't really care anymore. And that's how I felt. Like a lot of it, I was just kind of like annoyed. Match of the night, though, has got to go out to Nikki Bella and Carmella. Oh, they're pushing Carmella. Like, they tried to make her look strong. Like, that was the idea, to have Nikki put her over or whatever, to try and make her look strong. Get it in her good shots, but not winning, of course. You can't have her win over Nikki Bella. But, man, I don't know what it was. It just... Carmella, you try. You go out there and you try. I'll give you that, but it's just... I don't know. I feel like there's something missing with him. And like, there's a lot of things where I feel like there's a lot of guys who are just something missing. Like Apollo Crews was on the pre-show, and so I was like, I forgot about Apollo Crews. Remember when he came in and he was that awesome muscular dude that could do a backflip? And that's it. He hasn't grown. He hasn't gotten over. He hasn't adapted or changed or whatever. So it's just like, there's a lot of guys that are just doing their thing. I had high hopes for Miz and Dolph Ziggler. The end of the rivalry. The end is here. And it is over. It is. When they said this was the end, I knew that The Miz was going to win, because if The Miz lost, then he would have a rematch and there would be another match, you know, because he has a rematch clause in there. So I think that's cool that The Miz won. The Miz called everybody losers. I didn't think the match was as good as it could have been. But again, it's that car crash mentality again that I'll talk about, where you see it over and over and you get desensitized and you just don't care anymore. And I feel like that's happening a lot here in the WWE. I mean, again, I think they really, like, there's too much wrestling on television. I've said this over and over and over. There's too much wrestling. There's Raw, there's SmackDown, there's NXT, there's 205 Live, there's pay-per-view every other week, and then the big ones, and then it's just like, there's so much going on that you can't follow it. And then when you watch it, it's like, I've seen it all. Like, what more can you do? And then people get bored, and then they just don't care. Like, and that's how I feel. There's just way too much wrestling, and the gimmick matches, the gimmick pay-per-views, like, they need, like, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like a TLC match when you had Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. Like, the reason a tables, ladders, and chairs match was created was because the Dudley boys used tables, the Hardys used ladders, and Edge and Christian used chairs. And then it made sense that they had that match. Like, it all makes sense. And it's the same for, like, Hell in a Cell. The big Hell in a Cell happened because you needed to keep, like, the point of the feud or the rivalry was so big that it only could end in this type of match. Like a last man standing match ends only because this is the right, like, you have to just think of it that way. Like, that's the problem here in the WWE, is that none of these rivalries really mean, it's like, you don't build people wrestling and then, okay, this is part of the reason they hate each other, so that's going to be the match. No, it's like, they're going to have a TLC match, and then we got to figure out how we're going to get there. Like, that's not the proper way of doing it, and that's not the way that you should be building it and booking it here in WWE. But again, I thought that AJ Styles stole the show. Dean Ambrose worked his ass off again. That dude gets beat up constantly, over and over and over. It keeps coming back, so kudos to him. Whether people like him or not, I still think, like, he works his ass off all the time and does some crazy stuff. But again, AJ Styles should have been in the WWE a long, long time ago. Like, he is proving now that if you just let him go and you let him wrestle and you let him do what he does, he will be the best match on the show by far. I don't care. You put him up against anybody besides like Shawn Michaels, that rumored match between Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles. Like, that would be the best match of all time. Like, you can't beat that. Like, AJ Styles, put him up against the right guy. Let him go. Let him wrestle. He'll be the best match on the card. So there it is, guys. TLC over, done, in the books. What do we have for Roadblock? Do we care? I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you excited? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Main event was killer. AJ Styles awesome. Ellsworth is now a bad guy. Why, Ellsworth? Why? I still don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, guys, for AJ Styles, make sure that you hit that like button. Too sweet. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not. Hit that bell because you got to double subscribe now. Hit the bell on the thing. I don't know. We're going to end it here. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know. Goodbye.